All right, traders, let's talk about how I grew my small account by over 25% today in just 7 minutes on RDHL. The news? Kind of meh, but the predictive signals were crystal clear. A nano float ripping 66% in pre-market, refusing to sell below the 50 EMA, lining up with my Discord institutional level. That's the market practically begging me for my one and only trade of the day. Let me walk you through how I caught it at $2.63 and exited at $3.30. Day trading doesn't have to be gambling. With predictive volume analysis, institutional levels, and asymmetric compounding, you can trade with confidence and structure. Hi, I'm Susie Phillips, and this is the Small Account Truck Challenge. So let's go straight to today's chart and unpack the trade. Today is September 29th, 2025, and the ticker I traded was RDHL. My working capital today was just over $8,000. But here's the thing. That's from my asymmetric reset, where I reset my daily working capital back down to $500 just 8 days ago. And from there, I let each trade compound forward. I do this to manage share size better, to sharpen discipline, and to prove something really important, that skill scales an account, size doesn't. RDHL first triggered our Discord alert at 5:03 a.m. Mountain Time. Why? Because it had already ripped 66% in pre-market, going from $1.79 to $3.03 in just 13 minutes. That's a total rocket ship. Now, the news on it? Well, it was pretty light, nothing earth-shattering, but the structure and volume made it a high probability setup to retest that $3 target. And here's what I loved. On the pullback, price flat out refused to sell below the 50 EMA. That's defense. That's buyers stepping in saying, nope, we're holding this line. At 6:12 a.m., I stepped in at $2.63, right on a bull flag breakout at my Discord institutional level of $2.62. My risk was just 1 cent per share. That's predictive asymmetric trading in action. 6 minutes later, I was out at $3.30. Now, why that number? Because $3.30 was a significant resistance level on the daily chart mapped out ahead of time. Volume didn't surprise me. It simply confirmed the continuation that I had already anticipated, and that was the trade. In and out. 7 minutes, $2,134 locked in. 67 cents per share. That's a 25% gain, just like that. News doesn't move stocks. Volume does. That's why I didn't care that RDHL's news was kind of on the light side. The predictive signals were already in place before the headlines even mattered. That's what I call chart intelligence. Now let me shift gears for a second, because this is where a lot of traders get burned. Most people would have been lost on RDHL. They'd either chase it blindly because of the gap up, or they'd be drawing those big, messy supply and demand zones that don't mean a thing. Here is the reality. Zones are wide, they're subjective, and they repaint. But these Discord institutional levels are different. They're tight, they're predictive, and they never move once they're set. And that's why I knew $2.62 was the exact line for the entry. Not a guess, not a zone, but precision. This is the difference between rookie cocktail trading and predictive trading. Let me pause here for just a minute, because I know so many of you have been burned by guru alerts, lagging indicators, or just pure noise. Trading doesn't have to be that way. It's not about chasing every green candle. It's about waiting for the setups that line up across the levels, volume and risk to reward. One trade a day, repeated over and over. And that's how you heal your trading and rebuild your confidence. So what can we take away from RDHL today? That light news means nothing when volume is in control. That the 50 EMA gave us a crystal clear clue that buyers weren't selling, that 1 cent of risk gave me 67 cents of profit per share, and that predictive levels beat reactive zones every single time. Now let's light up the scoreboard. 8 trading days ago, I reset my daily working capital down to just $500, and that's an asymmetric reset. But in the background, the truck fund keeps running and building. And I started today with $94,345. And after today's trade on RDHL, I closed the day at $96,479. That's an 18,000% gain since starting this challenge with just $513. That puts me officially 64.3% of the way to my $150,000 truck goal. The truck isn't hype, it's just a scoreboard. It proves predictive trading scales forward again and again. And if this kind of transparency breakdown helps you see trading differently, go ahead and hit like, subscribe, and tap that bell notification icon so that you don't miss the next educational video. And if you've been thinking about joining my mentoring program, remember this, the discount only lasts while this truck challenge runs. When the challenge ends, so does the special discount. So guys, if you're serious about leveling up your trading game and achieving a 95% win rate, join us today at MomentumStockTraders.com. Here's what you get when you join, and it's everything I'm using every single day in each of my trades. You get live trade guidance, and I walk you through every single trade every single day. You get our custom scanners and charting tools, the same ones I use to spot the setups before they make that big move. You get access to our amazing private Discord channel, and this is where the action happens. You get AI-assisted alerts so that you're never left guessing when things are heating up. You get those key institutional levels, not the retail stuff. These are real levels where the institutions position their trades, and you'll get full breakdowns of each trade at the end of every day so that you can actually learn why a trade worked. But best of all, you're going to get real-time one-on-one mentoring from me personally and be a part of a fantastic community of really serious day traders. So who is this for? This is for any trader who is serious about leveling up their game. It's for struggling traders who've been struggling with profits that are too small and losses that are too big, or struggling with inconsistency in their win rate. So if that's you, this is the place for you, because this program solves all of those struggles. This is not a copy my trades service. It's real education. It's real trade guidance. It's a real platform to help you grow your skills and your edge. And guys, here's a brutal fact. If you're copy trading, you're just reacting to somebody else's click. That's emotional trading. That's not a strategy. You're already late for the game. What's our edge? Insider chart reading skills that actually fuels the action, not reaction. Our edge is profit, not panic. Our community inside is crushing it every single day. So if you're ready to stop second-guessing yourself and start trading with clarity, join us at MomentumStockTraders.com right now. And thanks so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes today. I hope you found this video helpful. And remember, trade smart, trade patient, and trade focused. And let's grow those small accounts together. And I'll see you in the next video.